Okay. Hey everyone, what's up? You hear me? Okay. Yeah. Paramount Tactical um has a good point here, as always. He's filled with good points. According to real Candace, or Candace Owens, there's an innocent man's life on the line. She should donate 300,000, which is just 3.5 hours worth of work. God damn, that's frustrating. Um, to his defense. Yep. This person, as Natalie Jean Beisner is saying, is writing to Tyler Robinson in county jail. Others have written him, stated that he doesn't write back, but that's not stopping me. That's really pathetic. Yeah, I've heard this from a few different sources that Andrew's fact checking team during the debate was prevented from providing a lot of fact checks. I lost a lot of respect for PBD. Not that I ever really liked him all that much. Seems kind of like he just goes where the wind is blowing. But Yeah, the face of evil. This stupidity about 12 Israeli cell phones on the campus. Let me tell you something. Charlie Kirk was beloved by Israelis. Okay, we didn't have too many friends. I mean, my dad's side is Israeli, but uh, Israelis didn't have too many friends, and Charlie Kirk was one of them. So I'm actually surprised that there were only 12 Israeli cell phones on UVU campus. I would expect there to be much more. Yeah, it just means that Israeli, yeah, just like the IP addresses were from Israel. So just people that were from Israel, uh, probably a lot of them were students on exchange visas. Maybe some of them were just Israelis that live in the area or fans, and they went there. And somehow it was determined they did, like a I don't know, some like technological survey, and they were able to determine that there were 12 Israeli cell phones in the crowd that day. That doesn't surprise me at all. If anything, I would expect more out of thousands because Charlie Kirk was beloved by Israelis, but it's just a stupid point. I mean, do they think that like the Mossad would be using Israeli cell phones in the crowd? It's like, come on, come on, people, come on. Yeah, there's a lot of gay men that follow Candace. I think if you're a guy and you're a follower of Candace, you're like a faggot. Sorry, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Sometimes I say things that I forget that my microphone is recording. Yeah, Mackenzie, you're right. I mean, if you're a guy and you're supporting Candace Owens, you are gay. You are gay. And I'm not homophobic. No problem with gay people, but I'm just saying. We saw this. Listen to this person. I don't understand why she has to present evidence for her beliefs. That doesn't make sense. It's a debate, not a deposition. People are confusing the two and then calling everyone else psychotic and retarded. Yeah, that's because you are retarded. I don't know about psychotic. Save Smiles. If you tripped over a crack in the sidewalk, that could be a city claim. I don't do those anymore. But if you hurt yourself, take pictures of the crack. Who is Sedona? I keep seeing all these people referring to Sedona. Oh, there she is. I see Sedona on the chat. Wait, I want to start getting some trolls in my live streams. And that means that they'll help the algorithm. Neogenian? Sedona, what does that mean? I'm just curious. I'm not. Charlie Kirk did change the world in his short life. Yep, good point, Recchietta. Paramount Tactical says, never forget that Candace, through her own independent investigation and multiple sources, confirmed the official narrative. When her audience turned on her, she suddenly realized the truth was not nearly as useful as profitable or profitable. This was never about truth. It is about greed, audience capture, revenge, and political agendas. She is as corrupt as they come. She is a fraud, lying and scamming millions of Americans out of views, clicks, and money. Well, that's 100% true, but I didn't know. Did she ever actually agree with the official narrative? Watching this debate between Candace and Andrew is like watching a man play chess against a pigeon. The pigeon flaps around, makes a lot of noise, knocks over pieces, completely confident in their performance, but to anyone that understands how chess is played, they look like an idiot. Yeah, but the problem is that this pigeon got $300,000 plus another million in ad revenue. That's the problem. Yay, candy troll! My first candy troll. Congratulations, Sedona. No, let's not block her out. I want the trolls. Nick Mattel is using her words back at her, saying he has full confidence that Candace was text messaged answers. Yeah. Yeah, use her own stupid logic back against her. Candace Owens says there will be a revolution if Tyler Robinson is convicted. So, no, it will never stop. She's a bot beep boop. Yeah, I could tell. She's a bot peep. uh, but isn't that good though? Doesn't that mean that my channel must be growing a little bit if we got bots in here? If Tyler Robinson is convicted, Candace says there will be a revolution. Why? Why, Candace? Why? You are. This is her final FU. Well, Juju B, this is my first real troll. I don't want to block her or him or whatever you call a Neogenian. And there might be a bot, but that's to help the algorithm, right? She's everywhere you go. We go. Yeah, I think I remember seeing her before, or him. Sedona, please help me spread my channel. Subscribe. Thank you, Juju. It. um, Juju, you're so funny. I love you. She's like potatoes. See, Sedona's gonna help me spread my channel. Oh yes, please tell Candace I think she is an evil, raving lunatic, psychopath, one of the most awful human beings that. Oh, wait, if you're able to get Candace to watch. This is my portrait of Candace. Um, tell her I am a Frankist Zionist Jew who eats blood of Christians or whatever. Part of the 92, part of Mossad, part of the French Foreign Legion. What else? Erica Kirk fan, TPUSA fan, Andrew Colvett fan, Frank Turek fan, Blake Neff fan, Andrew Wilson fan, Bibi Netanyahu fan, Trump fan. Just help me go viral. Sedona, help me go viral. Okay, let's see. Okay. Jackie Che is agent number 13. Joe Rogan is saying that he is starting to buy her conspiracies. That's not surprising. Another disappointment. What did Ryan Morrow say? Um, Not sure. This was Mackenzie just saying you gotta watch it. Let's see. You want it?
A partially sincere Candace Owens with defensive bravado there at the end. And the reason I point that out is because I don't ever want to be in the demonization business, even if someone drives me crazy like she does. And I disagree with them, and I think they engage in deplorable behavior. But because there is always someone beyond that which you're criticizing, and that girl there, that young woman there, still exists. And I hope to see more of that. I want to see that Candace Owens come out more. But and so to me, it's a question of, how do you bring that out? But what's significant there? What's her weak point? Because you can see there, she is concerned that she lost because the way she kept saying she was trying to be like Andrew Wilson, be like, you clearly lost. Like she was overcompensating, going around in circles about it. So she's concerned that she lost. I think that she didn't do the best. I think she knows that. Do I think she thinks she lost? I think no. But the fact that she inserted in there, I'm not arrogant, and it didn't belong there. That was not a smooth transition. It bothers her that people think she's arrogant and that she might actually be arrogant. Something's happening that she's concerned about that. She's concerned about people. Yes. Just give me 1 second. She says repeatedly, my heart's in the right place, and looks at the camera in a way that a politician does not. It's not a scripted thing. That was very natural. She is worried. She does not like that people think she's insincere, doesn't actually care about Charlie, that she's a bad person.
Ninето, that's a good idea, but that actually took me like 5 to 10 minutes to make, and cockroaches have always been the most disgusting to me, and so I feel like Candy is a cockroach. Wasps, yeah, I don't like wasps either. What are some other good bugs? You can have a wasp. Spiders, I mean, that's a little bit, it's on the nose, but we could do it. Um, what are some other gross bugs for Candace? I don't know. Cockroaches have always been the most disgusting to me. Um, Mosquitoes. They're not really disgusting, but they're actually the deadliest animal to humans in history. Um, Slugs. Slugs. The slugs don't really gross me out. I hate cockroaches because the way they scurry, and then they always scurry under things to hide away from the light, which is just so symbolically perfect for Candace, right? The way she hides from light. So June bugs are annoying. Yeah, June bugs are annoying. Yeah, Mackenzie, she's a cockroach. She's a cockroach. Um, I don't know, Nine Toe. Give me some other ones. I mean, wasps. Wasps. They bother me. Of course, they bother everybody. They're pretty scary. They're scary, but they're not as gross as a cockroach. They're not as gross. So I'm gonna stick with cockroach. I'm gonna stick with cockroach. Can you guys give me one more minute? 1 minute. My wife just walked in. I need it. Please stop talking about roaches and bugs. Well, when we're on the topic of Candace, we can't help but end up with cockroach. Yeah, mosquitoes are the deadliest. Worms. Maybe worm. I don't know. Not. I know a lot of people don't like snakes. A lot of people don't like spiders, but those don't really bother me too much. And I really hate cockroaches. So parasitic tapeworm. uh, that's a good one, Van Cruz. Maybe I'll put. I don't know. I don't know if I'm really gonna go through all the trouble of printing out a parasitic tapeworm. Snakes. I snakes don't bother me. Sorry, snakes don't bother me. I mean, I actually had a pet snake growing up, so uh, I know a lot of people have that, but maggots are pretty gross. Yeah, well, it's not like cockroaches scare me. I just like, yeah, they're just dirty. They're just dirty. Yeah, snakes don't bother me. I mean, rattlesnakes obviously they're they're dangerous, but a fly that might be kind of good. I could see that, even though they're not that gross. You put a Candace face on a fly. Flies eat poop. That's true. It's true. You guys are giving me a lot to think about here. Slugs, worms, parasitic tapeworm. That one was good. Fly because it eats poop. I'm not gonna go with snakes because snakes don't bother me that much. Um, yeah, flies landing. Um, maggots work. Mosquitoes aren't really gross, but they carry the worst diseases. Spiders don't really bother me. I mean, Black Widow, but Okay. Save Smiles doesn't like this discussion. Well, we got on this discussion because I showed my photo of Candy Roach, and some Nine Toe gave me a good suggestion that like every week I come up with a new bug for Candy, and so we were just going through which ones work. Um. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what notifications I got here. By the way, let me know. Let me check. Is anybody else going live tonight? I don't like to. I don't like to step on anyone else's toes. Yeah, rat is a good one. Rat is a good one. I'm gonna do that one. I'll have a roach and a rat with Candace's face on it. Because rats are really gross. You know the way that they. Yeah, yeah. We all win. Nick Mattel, you guys are stuck with me over Nick. Problem with Nick is all of it's too many people. It's too many people. You won't get this one-on-one interaction with Nick. You want to say pig? No, but pigs are not. They're mammals, you know. They're close to us. They're close to humans. Well, I guess so are rats. Rats are mammals too. True, but yeah, the rats are like roaches. They both scurry away from the light, and I think that's what Candace is like. She scurries. Well, I'm talking about a sewer rat, Mackenzie. I'm talking about a sewer rat. Everyone say hi to my wife, Zoya. Maybe a rat with a tiara. I don't. I don't know if I get that reference. What? Why does Candace like wearing tiaras or something? Um, no, just like a big nasty sewer rat. Big nasty sewer rat. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, everyone saying hi to my wife. You know, she holds down the house which allows me to chat with you all. Mm. She thinks she's a queen. Okay, so yeah. Well, I'm definitely gonna do the sewer rat, Candace. I don't know about the tiara. I feel like that might just be like too many different things going on. That took me like 5 to 10 minutes because I had to search for the roach. I had to search for a face of Candace, and then I had to print it. Then I had to cut it. So, you know, adding a tiara. Um, Thank you, S Files. I don't know if she's on her phone watching me or if she's on her computer. Um, but I'm gonna do the sewer rap. Okay, an orc? No. Orc? No. Troll? we're gonna stick with the nasty creatures without veering into fantasy. Maybe down the line, maybe one day I'll go into the troll or orc or witch. But I'm gonna do a sewer rap. I'm gonna do a sewer rap. Okay, let's see. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Hey, you guys, give me 2 more minutes. I gotta check in with wife. I'll be right back. Okay. So next, what's happening in the case, the Tyler Robinson case, by the way, is they're going to have the prosecution is going to file their reply brief, I guess, this week. Um, that's probably not going to be all that informative. It's going to be limited to responding to the points brought up by the defense. So it's not going to be a whole lot of new information. Yeah, thank you, everyone. I told my wife that everyone's saying thank you because I think she's just in bed. I think she just stopped in to say hi. But she says thank you for all the gratitude on her behalf. Um, so, by the way, just for you guys to know, because I've seen this said a few times, and I think I brought this up in another live. It's not really a fair characterization to say that the defense is admitting that he was guilty in their filing. Um, they're not. They're not admitting it. What they're saying is that even if you take the view most favorable to the prosecution about everything, which is what the judge is supposed to do at this stage, he still shouldn't get the death penalty because so forth. So they weren't conceding that he is the shooter or anything like that. They were saying, even assuming that, even if we were to accept that, then you still have these problems. So, you know, hi Natalie, I'm a big fan of yours. Thank you for joining. Natalie, we were just talking about what other bugs and animals. I'm not gonna gross out Save Smiles anymore with it, but we came to the conclusion about a rat, a nice big sewer rat for Candace. Um, I don't want to take anybody away from watching somebody else, but I'm having fun with you, so I am going to keep you all away from watching Nick. Nick is great. He knows he knows Israel, Palestine history. Like, I think he even admits that he's like autistic. He has an autistic amount of information in his head, so he's great. My if I can offer him one criticism is sometimes he steamrolls people. I feel like he's he's got all the facts. He knows what he's talking about. He knows how to debate. But when you just steamroll people and not let them get their points out, it doesn't necessarily establish a good um it doesn't establish that much credibility. What do you guys think? Am I wrong on that? I don't know if he's that kind of autistic. He and I'm not like putting him down. He admits, he says I have an autistic amount of an ability to just memorize facts and details. I mean, this guy like will open up the Quran or the Bible or just a book to the right page and just memorize facts and stuff. It's amazing. He's great. He's great. Nick Mattel. Nick Mattel. But he steamrolls sometimes. And like I tried to have like a I wouldn't say debate because I agree with him on most things, but just for the sake of conversation, I tried to kind of debate him because I'm a pro two state solution guy. Not now, and I don't want to get into it, but I see that as the best eventual outcome for everyone, and he's not. And so I was trying to have like kind of a healthy, like a respectful back and forth. And he wasn't rude to me or anything, but he didn't really let me develop my points that much. Yeah, he does cut people off. He's and Natalie, I'm a big fan of yours. If you can help me grow my channel a little bit, I would appreciate it. Um yeah, Nick's approach, I mean, look, he knows everything. He knows everything. It has his place, but I think he would do well to be a little bit more courteous. Even when you're dealing with shitheads, for the sake of a good debate, you should try to be courteous. Does anyone have any legal questions, or we want to get back on the yeah, and Natalie, I think I just was sharing one of your recent tweets. I think so. Yeah, courtesy does go a long way, and that's the way I do things in like law. I always tell my opposing side, the opposing counsel, like I'm as courteous to you as you'll be to me. I don't start off like an asshole. Some lawyers start off like an asshole and then I return the favor. But I prefer to be on a much more cordial relationship. Um, You see that, Natalie? Everyone loves you here. Um, yeah, but I forget where you were, but we shared one of your tweets. um, is Dirt Bike here? Hi, Dirt Bike. Let's keep going. Tell me I am not over the target now, bitches. Yeah, Rep Thomas Massey. Billy Kaiser. I don't know who that is. This is such a good point, and I was trying to give credit to the X Space that was saying this. We have to do better, and by we I mean me. Um, Remembering that the whole thing. I mean, the whole issue with Candace Owens and her sick behavior is that uh, we have to remember that we're talking about Charlie. That's the point. And this, what makes Candace Owens' behavior so sick is how she's refocused everything away from Charlie's goodness. And not only, I mean, in so many ways. I mean, she's taken away from that. She's taken a she's taken away from the support that TPUSA would have. I mean, really, it's like almost Candace Owens single handedly has um, diminished TPUSA. She's slandered everybody, um, from Erica Kirk, I mean, Charlie's wife, to his friends, to his mentors, to his fans. She just perpetuates the most vile Jew hatred, crude as Jew hatred. She's tearing apart, helping to tear apart the right, and she's basically trying to get Charlie's killer off scot free. Um, and anyways, I fell into my own trap. Didn't follow my own advice, which is that we should be trying to focus on Charlie, what Charlie stood for, which was, in my opinion, I mean, he was a conservative MAGA commentator, but he stood for open debate, and that's what he was killed for. That's why he was killed. That's how he was killed. If he wasn't for open debate with people that disagree politically, then he wouldn't have been shot. So, um, who was it that said that she was wearing that? Candy was wearing a Shabbat Shalom Daddy's Home T-shirt today. I forget, was it you saves or was it make Nikki? Sorry, I forget who told me that, but that wraps it up in a nutshell. She is mocking something that he believed in and cared about, and his final book was about it. Was that you, Nikki, for freedom? And was Candace wearing that today? Did she have like a live today, a podcast? I don't know how. I give you credit for watching anybody that watches her, even just to mock her to get to see what she's saying. I don't think I could handle it. Dirt bike. I don't think it's going to negatively affect Candace. I'm sorry. She was wearing that at the debate. How did I not notice that? She wore it at the debate. Shabbat Shalom. Huh. I missed it. Oh, she had a jacket. What is sick? Will I get banned from YouTube if I use the C word? Because I cannot think of any other word to describe Candace. Candace's outfit was very fake and gay. Oh my. Who was it? One of you clever folks. Who was it that suggested that Andrew should have worn a maroon sweatshirt? That was just say C word. Okay. That's he should have wore a maroon sweatshirt. Um. Okay, I'll just say count. I'll say count. Okay, but you'll all know that I'm saying it. I mean it without the O. Yeah. Yes. Yes, Save Smile. You want me to put on Charlie talking to apostate prophet at SAS? Yeah. But yeah, I don't think that the debate moved the needle for anybody. I think that Candace came out of it just richer. And no, dirt bike, don't go. Um, and again, I called it. I called it. I'm not I'm not right about everything, but my predictions sometimes I've been good on these predictions. I said that this debate will achieve nothing and it shouldn't happen. I said the same thing about Candace meeting with TPUSA. I said the same thing about Candace meeting with Erica. Nothing to gain from dealing with somebody, a sociopath like that. Nothing to gain from it. I don't think it's as bad as people are making. I mean, it's not like she gained anything other than money, though. Other than money, a lot of money, not just the 300,000. Yeah, yeah, Nikki. But by any objective standard, Andrew won the debate. But we all knew that. Did anybody expect her to come with actual evidence or good arguments? No, we all knew she wasn't. So we were hoping for like a complete and utter humiliation, and I don't think we got that. I don't know. And They didn't hold her feet to the fire. They played one clip of her saying Erica Kirk was complicit. She squirmed out of it and said, "Oh, I meant complicit in the narrative." And then they left out the other 50,000 clips where she accuses Erica of murder. So, um, okay, dirt bike. I mean, look, I hope you are right, dirt bike. I hope that I'm wrong. I really do. I really, really do. Yeah, and I'm not giving Andrew. I'm not blaming Andrew. I just want the trial to happen, and I want the trial to happen because we're going to see so much evidence that we haven't seen yet. And yeah, I know I'm speculating here. It's okay when I speculate. That's okay. Um, but no, we're going to see a lot more evidence. We're going to see all the cell phone tower ping locations. We're going to see more surveillance footage. We're going to see more data from his phone. We are going to get the testimony, more testimony from Lance Twiggs. We're going to get testimony from the family friend. I think we're going to get testimony from the parents. We're going to get other text messages and calls that Tyler was making. They didn't bring in all of his other texts and calls that were going on, just what was to Lance Twiggs. There was other stuff that he was texting and doing with his phone too. We know that at least one of his coworkers texted him a picture from the camera that said, "Is this you?" We know that only because Tyler texted that to Lance and said, "My coworker texted me that." So we're gonna get the surveillance footage of him at the car wash. Uh, Hopefully the vehicle data. Now it's unclear if that was running at the time, but they subpoenaed that. That would be nice. Little add on. Um, I've seen how these cell phone tower location things are used. They bring in an expert and they show the cell phone tower sites, and then they also show the location that the cell phone is pinged, and they ping it at all the relevant locations. So it's going to be Tyler's phone on campus, the first visit. Tyler's phone right off campus in between his first and second visit. Tyler's phone on campus the second visit. That's when he went to Chick-fil-A. Maybe we'll see a financial transaction. Maybe we'll see surveillance of him at Chick-fil-A corresponding with that ping location. Then again, Tyler's cell phone right off campus. And then he came a third time. Tyler's cell phone here on campus. Tyler's cell phone there on campus. Tyler's cell phone near Lucy Center right before the murder. Tyler's cell phone right next to where the gun was dropped off right after the murder. It's going to be like real time where he was. All throughout the day. Then when he's texting about looking for his gun, we're going to hear a lot more testimony from the medical examiner explaining how the bullet traveled. I mean, I still think that this is going to be a plea deal. It's going to be a plea deal, life without parole, but they will still present the evidence, probably not all of it in the same way. And so the candy tards will still, they'll never be satisfied. Even if all of this stuff that I'm talking about is presented, they still won't be satisfied. Uh, it's there is no satisfying them because they'll always just be able to say it's all fabricated, and there's no way to counter it. What other evidence? We're gonna see his searches on his. I'm saying if it goes to trial, we're gonna see his searches on his computer, probably searching Charlie Kirk related stuff, probably searching other stuff that's incriminating, searching about the event, maybe searching directions. Um, I mean, it already is overwhelming. At the preliminary hearing, it was overwhelming. There was enough at the preliminary hearing to get him convicted. In most cases, in most trials, that would be enough. But Tyler Robinson did not do a good job of covering his tracks. We also have the footprint. The footprint when he jumped off the roof, that was mentioned. It wasn't presented at the prelim. So we'll have that. Who did you lose respect for yesterday, Natalie? PBD or Andrew? I lost respect for PBD personally. Andrew, I thought he could have done better, but again, he could have done worse, and it it's it's impossible to debate someone like that, which is why I said don't even bother. Yeah, PBD was bad. He was bad. I mean, started talking to her about like double dates and stuff. I'm like, dude, shut up. Older, like it was bad. He did not mod good. Um, but again, there was no winning. It's futile. It's futile. I made a video a while back, like one of my first videos, about how to you can't debate an anti-Semite. Um, and a lot of the same principles apply. What I was saying is like when you're debating a true anti-Semite, there is no fact or reason that you can give them because they know that at a certain point they even realize that they're debating in bad faith and they're lying, and they take delight in seeing you have to reach for facts and arguments and get frustrated, and it builds them up. So it's pointless. You're feeding fuel to the fire. And Candace Owens operates the same way. Yeah, yeah. There was no need for any ads. It's obscene. It's obscene. This is not a boxing match. This is not this. We're talking about someone's life that was taken, and now someone's life is on the line. And you claim to be a truth seeker, but you're asking for $300,000 to just stand by your opinions, and you claim to be Charlie's friend, and you're not even offering to donate it to something to a good cause when you have more than enough money already, and you're going to have these ad breaks. How dare you? This is shameful. Shameful. I don't know if I don't know if I could have done better than Andrew. I feel like he should have known his shit a little bit better for how much was on the line. But to be fair to him, I don't know if there was anything he could have done that would have made any difference. Um, Again, he should have had the Milk Bar TV compilations ready to go, so she couldn't just say, "Oh, I meant complicit that one time." complicit in narrative forming. Yeah, okay, that one time maybe you can get away with. We all know you're BSing, but maybe you can get away with BSing that one time. What about the 500 other times you said she was a Black Widow, she murdered, she needs to be brought in question? That one they did play, but and she didn't get held to it. So I mean, after watching it for 3.5 hours, I felt like I just walked away with like, what did we get from this? Yeah, she couldn't defend anything she said, ex samurai, but that's not new. That's how she's been this whole time. The debate shouldn't have happened. The debate, there was no way Andrew could have won. He could have done better, but there's no way he could have won by her standards. He won by normal standards. He killed her. If this was like a normal debate, like a debate team thing, all the judges would be like, yeah, Andrew won hands down. Why? Because Candace didn't say anything with any evidence. But because the standards are Candy standards, she walked away. She didn't look, she wasn't in tears. And that would have been really the only way that I feel like would have been worth it, is if she started crying. So Saves wanted to watch Charlie Kirk with apostate. Was this top one the one that you were talking about, Saves? S Files, I would love to do something with you sometime. All of you that make videos, or even if you don't, if you want to ever show up, uh I like talking with other people and collaborating. So any of you that care to jump on a stream with me, you're all invited anytime. Hi, quick stop, Dante. Not sure if we met. Definitely S Files. This is it. Okay, let's watch it.
A very popular form of Islam. They raised me under semi-strict circumstances, which are very...
Former Muslim. He runs a channel called The Apostate Prophet, and you are very outspoken about Islam.
Yeah.
So, welcome.
Thank you.
And why don't you take a moment, just introduce yourself to our audience.
Sure, thank you so much. So I'm Ridvan Aydemir, Apostate Prophet. That's the channel that I started.
You guys hear it?
I'm a former Muslim, was born in Germany, of Turkish, very religious Muslim parents. Now live here in America. Was an atheist for like 10 years or so, and have recently become a Christian. So.
Praise the Lord. So, there's so many directions to go here. Why did you leave Islam?
That's a very long story.
I've had a long day, so take as much time as you'd like.
So, where should I start? I mean, as said, so I was part of a family that was always very religious. That was Sunni Muslim, a very popular form of Islam. They raised me under semi-strict circumstances, which are very...
Hold on one second. I can't hear it that well. Can you guys hear it?
Very weird from an American perspective, such as at home we weren't allowed to listen to music, for example. Can you imagine that? We were raised with the idea. This is the funny thing. I have to bring up this aspect actually before going into it to give you a better understanding. I was a child of immigrants from Turkey to Germany. So we lived in Germany, a Christian nation, or you could call some aspects of it post-Christian,
Yeah,
but
it's
pretty much
more secular.
Yeah, but still pretty Christian.
Sure.
I mean, I was raised under Christian circumstances at school while being having Islam, completely built into my mind at home.
So you were raised by Muslims?
Yes. And while I am there in that Christian country, I would go to school as a little child and encounter all these wonderful, nice, beautiful people and admire the German culture, admire the Western culture, admire Christianity. But at home, from my own family and their surroundings, I would learn from a very young age that you cannot trust non-Muslims. You cannot trust Christians. You cannot trust Jews is a whole different topic.
It's more than not trusting Jews.
Yes. To give you a very simple example, I think I was in first or second grade. It's very, very difficult to remember nowadays, but there was a weekend where my family took me and my siblings to a religious gathering that they would usually go to. And during that religious gathering, I heard that in the possible near future, we Muslims will fight the Jews and we will kill them. And even the rocks and trees will say to us, "Oh Muslim, there is a Jew behind me, come and kill him." Except for one tree called the Kargat tree, which is a tree of the Jews. So this is what I heard. I also heard then that the Christians would also be among our enemies.
Are you guys able to hear the content, the video? Okay, just making sure.
But with them it would be a little bit more complicated because Jesus...
I know, it's like the third holiest or second holiest, right?
Yeah, and...
There is an eschatological belief in Islam that Jesus comes in the end times. Is that right? Yeah.
Exactly.
I wanted to get into that.
But it's a very corrupt form of...
But Islam does have a reverence for Jesus.
Well,
they don't believe he was God, but they believe he was the Messiah. Is that correct?
Yes, but they also don't really know what the Messiah is. So what they do believe is that Jesus, who is in Islam called Isa, with a kind of corruption of his name, was actually just a prophet of Allah. And he came here...
He was Muslim.
Yeah, he was a Muslim, and he came here to deliver the Muslim message and to ask people to submit to Islam. That's all he was. He was also the Messiah.
Yeah, that's a bunch of crap.
It is, obviously. And I mean, if you go with the Christian narrative, right? If you accept that Jesus came and he was actually truthful, you can't have another message after him.
Correct.
You can't have another religion after him. And Islam comes and acts as if Jesus was simply a messenger, but his entire message was all corrupted by his followers, the Christians, who became hypocrites and evil, and the actual true message is that of Islam. And according to Islam, Jesus will come back, and what he will do according to Muhammad is he will come back and he will break the
Good night, dirt bike.
cross and kill the pigs and then will reign as a Muslim ruler over the people. According to some interpretations, that is meant to be so when he breaks the cross and kills the pigs and abolishes a protection money imposed on non-Muslims, it means that he will come to the Christians and tell them what the real religion actually is.
You mean
which is Islam.
isn't that zakat, the tax or something, right?
Yeah, it's the jizya.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay.
It has a very questionable name, but
I was going to say.
But
So I have so many questions here. So you leave Islam
yeah.
because it was just didn't ring to me true.
So I became very religious at some point in my life when I was a late teenager. Became very dedicated and started reading the Quran. When I read the Quran, the problem started arising because, believe it or not, Muslims will tell you that it is the best book ever written and that nobody can write a better book than the Quran. But if you read it, my friend David Wood, with whom I stream a lot, thank you. People love David Wood. You should have him too.
I will.
You should invite him at some point. But he's fantastic. He likes to quote somebody who says that reading the Quran is like penance. You know.
I don't feel that way with the Bible, though.
No.
So let's just start. I want to get to why you left Islam, but so the Quran is separated in surahs. Is that right?
Yeah.
Surahs.
Yeah,
and they're
chapters. Yeah.
But it's not chronological. It's the longest first. Is that correct?
Correct.
And it kind of jumps. Is there 64 of them? Is that right? Or
there are actually 140.
Oh wow, I'm way off. Okay, and so the part of it is normative Christian theology, but it's all counterfeit. Is that right?
You are partly right there. It has some Christian aspects, but it is also
Sedona, thank you. Make sure to tell her that I'm a Zionist. And I'm out to get her.
It very much started out as a pagan religion in Arabia that attempted to turn it into a monotheistic religion because Muhammad really was impressed by the Jews and Christians that he encountered.
So was what is considered Islam predate Muhammad, and he just adopted it as a warlord?
According to some theories, yes. According to the official narrative and the Islamic narrative, which I think is quite plausible, he's the one who comes up with it. He comes from a family of polytheistic Arab pagans, but he starts going against their traditions and saying that there is only one God named Allah. So he starts this whole new religion and starts attacking the polytheists and their idols and all that.
So, fast forwarding back to you, we're going to jump all over the place. You leave Islam.
Just like the Quran.
Exactly, that's all over the place. The Quran is like, I'm reading this thing. I'm like, by the way, don't read it unless you're ready to be super confused. I think it's kind of dark. I mean, I could use the word demonic.
It's very stupid. So.
Yeah, it's stupid. Thank you. So you leave Islam, you're an atheist. What brought you to Jesus?
It was a very...
Tucker would not like this video by Charlie. By the way, can I say my honest opinion here? And I'm sure that some of you are going to disagree with me. I don't want to insult Muslims. I know I know that a lot of people on my side want to bash Muslims and stuff, but I think we have to be respectful. And the moderate Muslims, of which there are many, maybe not enough, but there are moderate Muslims. I'm friends with moderate Muslims. And I think that by lumping them all together and insulting them, I don't know if it really helps fight the radicals. Yeah, Rana, I heard the news. I don't know if Sedona actually has the clout with Candace, but that would be great. I think I could have debated Candace a little bit better than Andrew, but I would definitely like to learn from Andrew. I would like to learn debate tactics and stuff like that because he knows how to debate very well, but he just didn't have the facts and the yeah, we can learn about Islam and criticize it absolutely, but I just don't want to insult them, the moderate ones, because I'm not a religious person for any religion. I see some parts of every religion as being a little bit hard to believe. I'm a believer in God, but um I don't know. This it's just my thing. I think that we shouldn't alienate the moderate Muslims because we're going to need moderate Muslims to fight against the radicals. And I hope I'm not like, I don't want to sound like, you know, I'm a softie. I think we got to fight the radicals like crazy, and there are a lot of radicals that we need to stand up against, and they're very dangerous and very serious, and they're killing Jews and Christians all around the world. So let's fight them. But but yeah, I mean, it's not a hill that I'm gonna die on, but I just have Muslim friends. Yeah. Well, and saves. That's my point. Is that there's a big difference, in logic. When I tutor, the logic, the LSAT a lot. Um, there's a big difference between saying all and not all. So if you're saying that, even if you're saying almost all, that's a big difference between saying all and almost all. And so, um, even if we're talking, even a huge majority of Muslims, let's say, are dangerous and terrorists, um, the small percentage that are, thank you, Rana, are not, we don't want to alienate them, even if we disagree with their beliefs. Yeah, and exactly, it saves like the moderate Muslims are, because they're even in Israel. There's like these moderate Muslims that serve in the IDF and stuff, and like if you start insulting all of them, and there's Muslims that serve in the American military. If you start insulting all of them and saying that they don't belong, no matter what, I don't think that's going to help. So that's just my take.
Long process, but for most of the time as an atheist, I was convinced that there is no God because I couldn't prove it. But I always had respect for religion. I had respect for Christianity. I always made that very clear. The thing is, over the many years after I left Islam, I tried to keep up this whole narrative, this whole charade, to be very honest now, that after leaving Islam and thinking for myself and being independent and not believing in fairy tales, that I'm a very happy person now. The thing is, for all those 10 years, I wasn't happy. I was really struggling inside. It was really bad. And one of the big issues that I have.
Yeah. Well, save smiles. It's a good point. All these people that are saying that Charlie was turning against Israel because of like one tweet, or one text, it's BS. And Charlie had a discussion with Tucker Carlson not that long. I don't know the exact date, but it was a few months before he passed away. I forget how long. But if you watched it, I don't remember exactly. It's interesting because the one topic that didn't come up was Israel, which, if you know Tucker, that's all he talks about is Israel, 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 and he didn't talk about it with Charlie. And I found that interesting because Charlie probably knew that Tucker had these views about Israel, and so he didn't want to get into it because Charlie was a supporter of Israel. Um, and Tucker, being kind of the person he is, didn't want to bring it up because he didn't want to, have to defend his views against Charlie. He wanted to use Charlie. So I found that interesting. That was the only time that Tucker didn't actually bring up Israel, was talking with Charlie. But it's a good point, Saves. Yeah, I mean, even if Charlie was turning against Israel, it's not like he was embracing Islam. There's no evidence of that for sure. And again, I don't think he was turning against Israel. I think he was just pissed off that a Jewish donor wanted to pull a bunch of money because Charlie was going to platform Tucker, and Jewish people have the right not to want to give money to an organization that's going to platform Tucker. And I think Charlie right now, I don't like to put words in anyone's mouths after they pass away, but I can imagine that Charlie's like, well, yeah, you know what, that Jewish donor was right. I should never have platformed Tucker. Look at how he's cowering in the face of Candace's attacks on my wife. F Tucker. But in any case, Charlie doesn't like to be, I wouldn't say blackmailed, because Jewish donor has the right to turn it. It's his money. But he doesn't like to be told who he cannot platform. So he was like, I'm pissed off about this. And Charlie's right to be pissed off about it. That was the extent of that text. It wasn't like, I hate Israel now, I'm going to turn on Israel. I think he did say like, leave me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause, but I think that was him blowing off steam. And it was, again, just one kind of text out of frustration. It wasn't like a continuous pattern of like, I hate Israel. So anyways, I think that whole narrative is stupid. You could, for that one or two text messages that he sent, I could point to 5,000 text messages and public speeches and other things that he did that was pro-Israel. So really, it's kind of stupid. Velvet Lace, I'm with you 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, I hope TPUSA does not platform Tucker. That's going to be a big problem for me, especially after how he's been reacting to Candace. They were too late to call Candace out. They were giving her too much grace, and now they're fighting back full force. But they should have done it from the get go. And it seems to be like they're making the same mistake with Tucker. Like, call him out now, call him out early, call him out hard. Do not let him back in. He has no place in the movement. Okay, doesn't matter if you guys are don't care about supporting Israel or not. Tucker Carlson has done enough other harm to the movement, to MAGA, and everybody aside from Israel. You guys, I think I'm gonna have to call it a night. I'm sorry, I want to finish watching this, but yeah, Megyn Kelly's just the biggest coward. She's not like a bad person in the same way that Tucker and Candace are. She's just a coward. 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 But Sedona, yeah, get Candace to watch to make my viral Candy Roach. Candy Roach. This is how Jews and Zionists think of Candace. Good night, everyone. Love you all. Mwah.